What's up, guys? We just came down to the pond to catch a few fish. A couple of different rods for a couple of different techniques I was going to try to show you. And right away, if you look in the corner here, you can see quite a bit of fish activity. If you look up there on the left, some big fish moving around. There's a carp right there, right behind that tree. I can't zoom in because my left hand is full of fishing rods. But we've got carp activity down here. Big fish moved over there by the shore on the right. Yeah, I didn't think this would be the perfect time. I wanted to get started now, establish some bait in the water so a few hours from now the fish would start biting. But it looks like they're already biting, so let's get down there, let's catch some fish. This is the hard part. I'm gonna try to stay aligned with these trees behind me, so when the fish are looking up out of the water, I don't become an independent silhouette that they recognize as a predator. You gotta think fish are quite used to being attacked from above by birds, so they're always keeping an eye out for things looming above them when they're at the water's surface. So to break up my silhouette, I'm just going to try to walk down with these trees behind me. I think fish are also really sensitive to sudden movements, so I'm going to go kind of slow at a steady pace. That wasn't too steady, but I almost fell. Alright, first things first, get a line in the water. Now, I'm only putting one rod out today for carp. And I'll tell you why in a second. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be shocked. So let's cast this just right over here to the left. Follow up with just a handful of ground bait. I would do more, but it's frozen. And because I didn't expect so many fish to be out right now, I thought I'd have more time to defrost it. So handful that I was able to scrape off. Now, why would I bring 3 rods, but only one to catch carp? The answer is going to blow your mind. The answer is I'm actually going to intentionally try to catch a catfish today. Now, there's a couple of pretty big catfish out in this pond. Nothing gigantic. Catfish in North America can grow up to 100 pounds under very special circumstances. There's nothing in here like that I know of. But I've caught catfish in here, about 15 plus pounds, which is a nice little fish. So we're going to try to catch a blue catfish, maybe a channel catfish, a little bit larger than what you've seen on the show so far. So I've got a fairly hefty rod, clearly overkill. So what I'm doing is kind of the same thing we do for carp fishing. I've got this flat weight here, this flat lead with a bead tied behind it so you can see there's a bit of resistance. And I'm going to kind of use a modified bolt rig. So I want the catfish to pick up the bait, feel the resistance of this lead. You can see the line is not sliding through it right away. Take off and alert me to its presence. Now I've got a fairly big hook on here. This is a deep sea fishing live bait hook, so it's very, very strong, even though it's very small. Catfish have the tendency to take hooks in very deep. So I've actually snapped the barb off of this hook. It's a barbless hook for fish safety. And for bait, I'm gonna go with shrimp. If you saw our last video where I went and caught some whiting and catfish at the beach and found a really big sea louse on the catfish, which is a parasite, I was fishing with shrimp. I had some left over, so I'm going to use some for catfish today. Now, casting tip, we're not distance casting today, but if you are, when you're using a big long rod like this, don't try to push the rod out with this back hand. Whichever hand you've got by the reel, that hand is just meant to use as like a fulcrum of a lever. So a lot of people make the mistake of trying to push the rod out, and all the emphasis is on this hand right here. Don't do that. This hand is almost like a stationary point for the rod to revolve around. This hand pulls down and you whip the top of the rod over like a lever. So let me just check my bait. Still excellent. Watch as I cast. I'm going to pull with my left hand down and whip the rod over the top. And you get a much further cast like that. We started getting a little bit of action on this small rod here, this light tackle rig, as I like to call it. It's not true light tackle. I mean, it's a lighter tackle, but it's not like one of those micro light rods you see that are this big around. We might have to get one of those. I think that'd be a lot of fun to have fishing challenges on super light tackle. Okay. Oh, fish on, fish on. I was not expecting that to happen. Something was clearly pulling on the bait. Something very clearly dropped it. Now, perch will pick at corn and bread and things like that. I've got corn on right now. And tilapia will eat those baits as well. That's what I catch them on. But when tilapia are this long, they can't swallow it. Their mouth is too small. So you get the same thing as sunfish, where they just kind of pick at it. A lot of the times what it is it's fish moving in the area and their bellies are brushing on the line. And that's why you get the line moving or pulling and then it stops. Fish on, and it's going on a long run. It took light, it took off light, and then it took off hard and fast. And you only got to see and hear a small bit of that run. That was a long, long run. And he's crossed under my other line, but that's okay. Okay, he's changing directions now. All right. Gotta go way back over here for the net, as per usual. There he is. There he is. It's a good sized fish. Just gotta keep his head up above the rocks. If he buries his head into these rocks, he will cut my line. Oh, he's a big carp. Oh, he's strong. Yeah, there he is. Oh, it's a beautiful fish. All right, let's net him. Not a carp. So it's not a carp. My first assessment was wrong. It's a big buffalo. There you go. Lovely fish. Big smallmouth buffalo. And you can see this gold coloration on him. That's quite unusual. Normally they're a little bit more of a purple color. That's why I thought he was a carp, because I just saw that flash of gold. Lovely fish. I just love fish. All right, let's put him back. I'm just gonna lower him into the water with the net. He can recover sitting in the net. When he's ready, there, I've given him space. When he's ready, he'll go. And turn him upright. And he's gone. Chuck some more ground bait in the water. Tell you what, the one fish I haven't caught out of here yet, that I've seen with my own two eyes, is a mirror carp. Now, different people have different schools of thought, largely based upon, what academic institution they were trained by. But generally speaking, one thing that everyone agrees on is that carp, common carp, or the Eurasian carp, or the European carp as it's properly called, and the mirror carp are basically from the same general, I don't know if it's the same genus or family of carp, but essentially they're the same thing, just kind of branching out with different morphologies. So when I say European carp or mirror carp, really all that means is that there's a difference in the physiology, the actual aesthetic of the fish. But mirror carp are really lovely. They have bigger and fewer scales because they were actually intentionally bred to be eaten. So people don't like scaling fish. When you have a fish like a carp that's known for having huge scales, what do? You breed it to have fewer scales. So the result of that is the fish are just gorgeous. They have bigger scales, reflecting more light, usually high up on their back. If you get a mirror carp that only has scales on the center of its back, they call them a saddleback. But just makes really pretty fish. Now, already fish are messing with it. Got him. Oh no, I got a stick. Oh no, did you see that? I hope that was on camera. I hooked up on a fish. he ran under a stick, and I thought I just had a snag, and then the fish got off the line. That was totally a hookup. Oh, that's frustrating. Well played by the fish, though. Thing I've learned about buffalo, even more so than carp, is that a fast hook set, like a really sharp hook set like you would do for a bass, generally not the best strategy. I find I get a better hookup rate when I just very steadily lift into the fish. I don't know why that is. You'd think logically a fast hook set would do the same thing, only quicker. I'm just telling you what works for me based on experience. For some reason, that tends to give me a better hookup rate. Got him. He's making a big run. Oh, what a good day. What a good day. You know what the great part is? As this fish panics and runs, I see all the other fish around him run too. They're just all over the place. He's crossing over this line here, but that's fine. As long as it... Oh, that was not good. I felt him hit a rock there. Woo! He is swimming very fast circles. Anyway, as long as the fish crosses a line and I know the relationship of the two lines, man, he's going berserk. As long as I know which line is over which line and how to get them untangled, I'm fine. Huge fish just moved off over there, spooked by all this commotion. Oh, that's another huge buffalo, guys. Whew. Oh no. We are in a battle right now. There we go, and I just won that part. Ooh, we were in a battle there. He was swimming circles around a stick, and I was trying to follow him with the rod. I got the better of that exchange. Man, there are some huge fish just still out there. Let me net this guy. There we go. There we go. Big fish. Another big buffalo. And you can see what I was talking about with this one. That gold shine really just kind of rests on the top. Most of this fish kind of has that aquamarine to purple coloration. Really characteristic of this species, but just a lovely fish. Kind of creepy looking. Almost like something out of a David Lynch movie. These big blank eyes and that sucker mouth. But really, really neat fish. Just awesome, and I can see more on the surface. So what I'm probably seeing is their tail as they feed. See how he's doing that with his mouth? That's what he looks like when he's feeding. And their tails kind of come up near the top of the water and break the surface. But lovely, lovely fish. Oh, good grief. I'm excited. Get so jittery. You know, I caught bull sharks over 100 pounds, and I catch buffalo, and I'm still shaking. So subtle. They're so subtle. You gotta watch the line in the water too. I ran into a trout fisherman on Bolivar Peninsula at Rollover Pass who explained to me when he catches pinfish how he will intentionally leave a bow in the line. So he will use a double drop rig. So the weight is out of consideration. The fish will be between you and the weight. And he lets a bow slacken the line. So instead of feeling for the fish's bite with his finger, he will actually watch for the line to begin to straighten out. And the moment it begins to straighten out, before that pressure was even there, he would set the hook. And he just caught so many pinfish right in front of me. I was struggling to catch, one or two. Probably caught 10 in maybe 5 minutes. I'm going to try to do the same thing here. Fish on. Fish on. another good-sized fish. Oh, man. Oh, it's not a buffalo. It's a huge carp. It's a huge carp, and suddenly I just got 10 times more invested in catching it. Oh, I love carp, and this was magnificent. Oh, he's also really strong. Good fighter. Come on, buddy. Oh, almost lost him. I had him like halfway in the net. He got out. My heart skips a beat every time he hits one of these snags. Alright, now's the time. Oh man, I lost him. No, I didn't lose him. I just missed him with the net. Get in. Oh, guys, wait till you see this gorgeous, gorgeous animal. Guys, this is like one of those dreams where you have superpowers or you can fly. Oh, gosh. Except this ain't a dream. This really is a big, huge common carp with an enormous mouth. Look at that. How's that? This is what you do, by the way, when you're a fisherman on Instagram. You take your picture like this. Oh, look, I caught a 50-pound carp. You ever wonder how the people on Instagram can hold a 50-pound carp with their elbows straight out? Anyway, gorgeous. Look at the colors. Look at this gorgeous animal. I love those scales in the light. See, I saw that dorsal fin. It didn't go straight back down to his back again like a buffalo. When you see a buffalo, it connects again, the dorsal goes straight back down to his back right here, and then it doesn't arc back up for another inch or two. I saw it sail down his back, and that's how I knew right away, that's a carp. That's a carp, and this carp deserves a quick release on camera. Alright guys, while we wait for a catfish, what I've got is I've got our landing net, and I want to walk down the bank here because where you can see this man-made shelf, where the water creeps over this shelf up ahead, there's a bunch of gar sitting up there. Now gar are breeding this time of year. I suspect that's the reason for all this activity, but they're also hunting. They're hunting small tilapia and perch. We'll see if we can't net something. I'm going to turn my headlamp on. You can see, oh, there's some fish. Most of these fish will scurry before we get close to them. Some of the gar, though, there's a fish right there. Whoosh, there he goes. There's a bass. Oh, there he is right there. Anyway, some of these fish will scurry before we get to them, but I think the gar will sit and wait the longest. Maybe, just maybe if we're lucky, giving us time to net them. Even if we don't get that lucky, we'll still see some cool stuff. I almost need to get this net. Instead of scooping them up, I almost need to like intercept him. And I got him. Got him. Oh, I can't believe that worked. Can't believe that worked. Oh, steady my hands because they're so shaky right now. Look at this guy. Oh, look at that beautiful pattern on his back. Lovely. You can see why I thought he was a snake for a minute. The first gar, anyway. These small gar. Hold still, buddy. Very thin. And it almost has the same pattern as a blotched water snake. Go Google a blotched water snake. It's a Texas native. and it's got a pattern very similar to this fish. Super, super cool. I'm really glad. I would turn to look at you, but you'd be blinded by my headlamp. I'm really glad we got this. Wonderful, wonderful fish. Beautiful animal. All right, let's let him go. Let's let it, whoop, let himself go. There he goes. Gar are a super tough species, so, you know, if that was a carp and I dropped a carp from that height, I'd be very worried about the fish, but gar are like tanks with mouths. I'm not saying you can abuse the fish, but they are incredibly tough. Here's one. We've got this one. He ain't got nowhere to go. And we got him. Number 2. He, just by virtue of where he was, ooh, don't bite me right there. By virtue of where he was trapped. Come on, buddy. Don't make this embarrassing for me. Gorgeous fish. A lot of fight in these guys. You can imagine what it's like hooking one up on a rod and line when they are 6 feet long and pushing 100 pounds. Whoosh. Beautiful animal. Beautiful animal. Look at that tail. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, I'm gonna turn my headlamp off now. Turn my headlamp off and just get you the camera light. I'll walk down here onto the embankment so we can let him go. Watch him slide out of my hands. Whoosh. And there he is. He's hiding. See how he's hiding under the bank like that? I think he's disoriented. He doesn't want to be there. Yeah, see, he's trying to move. But man, you'd never see him. You'd never know. That is so cool. And he's gone. Well, you know what? Maybe we didn't get a catfish this time, but we got a couple of buffalo, carp, a couple of gar in a very unusual way. I think I'm quite satisfied with that for today. I don't know if you can even see me. Good grief, maybe that's better. But yeah, it's been a good day of fishing overall. There we go. I'm quite excited. I'm quite happy about it. Anyway, stay tuned. Obviously, the gar are breeding right now. They're all over the place, which means the big one are 2. So we're going to take the suggestion of somebody who referenced us, a good place to go fishing in one of our comments, said they caught a massive gar in an area pretty close to where we were in another video. So we're going to head out there soon, try to catch some really big gar, see if we can't catch you one. You know, I don't want to shoot too high. But let's say 4 to 6 feet. That's the goal. If we could catch one over 100 pounds, that would be fantastic. But anyway, we're gonna go out there and try that soon. Keep your eyes peeled for more videos. I mean, people just keep giving me the best suggestions of places to go, so keep those suggestions coming. I am planning trips for everything that has been given to me so far. I got to go to the back of I think it's George Bush Park, and look at a horseshoe lake that's back there. There's a whole episode planned about that one. A pier over, I think it's above League or Texas City, either League City or Texas City, going out into the top half of Galveston Bay. We're going to do one out there. We're going to do a couple in Galveston, a couple over at a pier at Quintana Beach. Lots of stuff to come. So before we go, 2 goals that the show has that I want to share with you guys that we've got. The first goal is something we've had for a long time, which is to fish every state and city park in the state of Texas. Now that is a lofty goal, but it is achievable with the right amount of time and dedication. That's the one thing both of these goals have in common. They can be reached through considerable time and dedication and resources. But anyway, every single park in Texas that is listed as a state or city park, starting with the Houston area. And then the second goal, which is a bigger one and much harder, but still possible, is I'm going to, over as long as it takes on this YouTube channel, I will catch every single species of fish, catch and film for you, every single species of fish that can be feasibly and legally caught as it resides in Texas water. Now, before anybody jumps in the comments and starts saying, like, you're gonna catch a great white shark or a whale shark because they're in Texas waters, feasibly and legally caught, okay? So I will make an official list and find a way to post it for you to view That will not be the sole purpose of each video. We're not going to be like, okay, on this video we check off these fish. That'll kind of be a side note, but it is something that we are going to intentionally try to accomplish. And if any of you guys out there are avid fly fishermen, let me know some spots around Texas. Big fish just splashed right in front of me. Let me know if there's any good spots around Texas besides the Frio River, which is a place that, again, we want to go to, that you know of where you can have really good fly fishing, because that's something I want to start doing for these videos as well. I don't even know if I qualify to be a novice at fly fishing. I mean, I've done it once. Does that make you a novice, or does that make you a joke? I don't know. But anyway, that's stuff that's going to come. So fly fishermen, please let me know if you're used to fishing in Texas. Give me some helpful hints. Yeah, you guys keep watching these videos. I'll keep making them. Heck, I'll keep making them even if you don't watch them. I like this. This is great. Well, you can see the moon behind me. You can probably see this giant shadow I'm casting back here. No catfish. I don't care tonight. You know, it's been a great night of fishing. I think I'm happy to wrap things up as it is. So stay tuned. We'll keep these videos coming. Until then, I'll see you guys later.